like Kevin Smith movies. I have this signed Clerk soundtrack, this Mallrats Blu-ray, these comic books. And I've seen all of Comic Book Men many times. I want to say, though, I'm not blind. I understand that sometimes his films aren't for everyone, and sometimes everyone, including me, can agree they're just not good films. However, one of them has been very difficult to find. Kevin Smith is the indie film golden boy to some and a hack to others. Meanwhile, Smith himself, to me, is admirable in his ability to make the content he would like to see first. I have a point of view that boils down to just be yourself. If you want to retain an audience, you can't expect your Clerks audience to be your Jersey Girl audience. But your Kevin Smith audience, now that's your crossover. There will be fans of your content, and there will be fans of you. If you like the content, that's great. If you appreciate the content creator behind it, that's even better for them. What the fuck was I talking about? Right. So, in 2017, it was announced Kevin Smith would be filming a movie using the World War II Wikipedia-described meme Killroy Was Here as its inspiration. Kevin would work with Ringling College of Art and Design to create the film with 26 of the students. In 2018, it would be announced that Smith's daughter, Harley Quinn Smith, and his longtime friend/actor, Jason Mewes, would be joining the cast, alongside Chris Jericho. Moving to 2020 shows more promise as we get Comic-Con 2020 at home, and during the An Evening with Kevin Smith panel, we get a Killroy Was Here trailer. He said the finished film would be released in early 2021, even saying it could be as early as the end of 2020. It fucking wasn't out in 2021. The biggest change to the movie was about to come. In April 2021, it was announced that Killroy Was Here would be exclusively sold as an NFT. Well, what the fuck does that mean? I still can't explain it, and spoiler alert, I have 10 of them. The long story short is that if you wanted to watch the film, you would be required to register an account to create a digital wallet that you would then convert money to digital currency and use that to purchase the film. The film and its ownership would then be attached to your wallet. So when you exchanged currency for goods and services, it went in a complicated way. A way so complicated that when I attempted to purchase the film for the first time, I ended up taking an entire day to do it. Okay, let's step back. I need to explain a few things. This NFT news meant that the movie would not be released as a Blu-ray or DVD. It would not be released on streaming or for purchase in iTunes, Vudu, Amazon Prime, or others. It means that if you wanted to watch the film, you must own it. You must purchase it with crypto, and you must, based on all of the explained information, watch the movie on the Killroy Was Here website. There was not a web page or a news article, neither third-party or official, that explained the process clearly. Myself and most others didn't understand how it worked. We didn't even know if the movie came with the NFT or what an NFT was, or what it meant, or what crypto does, or why. The more confusing thing is that the film's distribution rights were set to be auctioned off via a crypto auction. Now, what in the ever-living fuck would that mean? The world will never know, because the film would ultimately be released by Legend.io as 1,000 tokens. Now, if you aren't sure what that means exactly, well, don't ask me, because I'm not sure. But I can confirm there are 1,000 Killroy images. Before I explain what that means, let me explain the confusion. In the early announcements of this release procedure, it was said that there would be 5,555 exclusive tokens. However, every time a Killroy NFT is sold, you will receive a unique image of Killroy. Its uniqueness is based on a set of characteristics. You also received the film, a copy of the script, and a teaser video exclusive to the NFT purchase. So, if there were 5,555 tokens, there should be 5,555 unique Killroy images. But there are only 1,000 which matches the website's official claim that there are 1,000 art pieces in the collection. Except in the fucking main page, it shows example images labeled over 1,000. God damn it, what is going on here? So I think there are 1,000 copies of this film available to the public. Now, how much? What does it cost? Yes, crypto, you have to purchase it that way, but what does the price convert to? $180. That's right. Not only does this film cost $180, which is insane, but it literally just cost $180. That price in USD never changed. So you needed to get $180 worth of USD currency converted to crypto. And at that, a specific coin from the secret network. And I'm not joking here. Once you have that coin, you would convert it again. Then you could purchase the film. But there are tiny fees all along the way. So in total, let's call it $185. But hey, you did it. You purchased the film from the website. And assuming it actually fucking worked, then that means your wallet now contains a copy of the film. You can go to my collection and view the contents. But guess the fuck what? That's not all. Nope, it's more confusing and not explained. So what am I talking about? Well, first, visit stash.io, and then, using the same wallet you set up for purchasing the film in the first place, log in to view your NFTs. Now, you can view the details of your Killroy NFT, and if you do it here, you can see some other attributes in the Private Properties tab. Now, it's not very well explained, but if you use this full movie link, it'll do nothing. So, to explain this link, you should know it must be passed through an internet gateway. And you know what? If you have a better solution, comment it. But until then, here's what you do with your link. It starts with IPFS://. Ignore that. Instead, take a peek at this random string. You just need that. Now, in your browser, type out https://gateway.pinata.cloud/IPFS/random string. You'll be able to download the file, but it's literally just a random file. Well, that's where your full movie key comes into play. Now you can use 7-Zip, WinRAR, or another unzipping program to extract the contents, but you'll need the full movie key as the password. There it is. This is your copy of the movie, downloaded as intended. But before we start our movie review proper, let's investigate the other pieces included with the purchase. Because for $180, there better be extras. Well, you get the script signed by Kevin Smith, the movie, the unique Killroy image, and the unique teaser, which looks like this. We'll get back to this. Killroy Was Here is a horror anthology film centered around a creature named Killroy. The movie was directed in 2022 by Kevin Smith. Coming in at 1 hour and 2 minutes with credits, Killroy Was Here tells the story of a babysitter being dropped off by her boyfriend and telling spooky tales of a killer named Killroy. And if you utter his name 3 times, he'll appear. The babysitter plot anchors our anthology of fables. It's not very good. Basically, this babysitter is dropped off by her boyfriend and gets pissed at him for cheating. So she hypes up this little girl, telling her scary stories all night. So when the boyfriend shows up, this girl's tricked into killing him, thinking he's Killroy. Then Killroy shows up, kills the babysitter, walks away with the kid. This shot's in the trailer. And this shot is one of the most widely spread from the film. The story Killroy is a boy named Roy who grew up with a bloodlust and no proper direction. He went cannibalistic during the Vietnam War, Imprisoned for his actions, Roy survives a prison fire that transforms him into the Killroy monster. The logic of Killroy is established, but it's never adhered to. In the first story, we have a Munchausen by proxy. A mother poisoning her daughter for attention and cash. When the daughter finds out about her mother's actions, she summons Killroy at a fundraiser, killing herself and watching Killroy slaughter the crowd. The second story follows two children at a late-night school play practice. It's discovered that the children have tricked the teacher into saying Killroy's name 3 times. And that's how they avoid Killroy taking a child every year. They just trick the teacher into saying it.
Don't say his name. Don't ever say his name.
Why not?
He has like this psychic bond with kids.
Psychic bond?
Yeah. So if you say his name, he's gonna think you're calling him. And you don't want Killroy coming.
Hey, you just said his name.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about me. I'm too old for him. He likes little kids.
The third story is that of a pedophile priest taking immigrant children to a hotel once a month. The children summon Killroy to save them, and a bloodbath ensues. Our final story is that of a live streamer. Chris Jericho plays a dog shit human being that uses his stream to expose gay men. One of the wives eventually tricks him and sticks an alligator on him. Then, for no reason at all, Killroy shows up and straps her to a tree. And then this CGI alligator gets her. That's the story. Well, I guess there's still the babysitter dying and this little girl walking away with Killroy. Even though that's technically 5 stories in this 60-minute movie, there is still another one. In the trailer for the movie, there's this shot. That isn't actually in the movie, and neither are these shots from the trailer. These are another story, a story that can be accessed, but to my knowledge, hasn't been. Here on KillroyWasHere.io, you can watch that teaser we were talking about. Now, if you notice here, the comic book cover says Part 1. That's because there are 15 of these, and they're all one story that is not included in the film. This is the only format they're presented in. Let's go over its presentation. The trailer has these shots, but to watch this story, you're going to have to collect 15 of these Killroy NFTs. And there isn't any way to check which part of the lost chapter you're going to get. So yes, you could end up with a duplicate. So that's bad enough, making it very difficult to collect this story as a whole. But what if I told you it gets so much more annoying? I've started a spreadsheet to track which Killroy NFTs contain what teasers. And notice this row of letters? Those are important. Let's look at 10A and 10B side by side. So you could end up with all 15 parts and still not get a complete version if all the letters don't match. Plus, are you really telling me you would only want the black and white version knowing it's just an alternate version? Dear fucking God. Okay, so simple math shows us that 15 parts with 3 versions per part adds up to 45 unique teasers. And that does match this claim on the Killroy Was Here website. But I bet you're asking, what is the C? While I'm not 100% sure, I believe its only alteration is to the comic book cover. The image is a still frame from the movie, and the color behind the title is red. No matter what, the video that plays is the same in each part. Now, I have a complaint. This rendered part, the comic book, the table, the knickknacks, they all look amazing. But the video clip is not only at this stupid angle, but it is compressed to shit. So I can't properly review this story. I have a portion of it. And that is what led me down the rabbit hole to obtain the rest of this story. I found a YouTube video called Tour of the Killroy NFTs, and taking the time to watch it in full made me realize something. I could write a script to greatly simplify the download of your Killroy content that's already available and supposed to be downloaded. That's where the incredibly specific and niche tool Killroy Was Here downloader was born. All of this got me thinking though. I could not have made something so specific if someone else hadn't taken the time and effort to also be so incredibly specific. With all that said, I want to thank Socrates1024.
I think it's Socrates.
Well, let's ask him then!
I go by Socrates1024.
That makes more sense. I legitimately probably should have picked it up from watching your video. I mispronounced Legendao. Is that right? Legendao and not Legendao?
Yeah, I looked up a podcast of Guy from Secret Network and heard him pronounce it that way. So yeah, I think that's how it goes.
I would say that's a much more official source. I was hoping you could give just like a little background as to why you made your video, because it was the most important source for me getting like enthused to pursue more of the NFT side of this. Because I came in going, oh, Kevin Smith movie. That's it. That's where it ended for me before this.
Yeah, I mean, I first found the Killroy NFTs about a year ago now, and they're really cool. I mean, so I do security research, and I basically do a lot of things with like confidentiality and privacy stuff in cryptocurrencies especially. So I'm usually trying to point out things like, oh, the kind of thing Secret Network does is really cool and really different. I like Kevin Smith films. I like Clerks, my favorite film. So I guess I'm one of the few people that's kind of interested in both worlds, more from the cryptocurrency side. Most NFTs are really stupid, but the Secret Network ones are kind of interesting because of having this, this private metadata that no one's seen. So to me, I found it a year ago. It blows my mind that it seems like no one has like leaked it. No one has talked about it really clearly, as far as I can tell. I'm surprised that for the whole year, no one's, made a mention of it. So I find that totally surprising. So I guess I wanted to take matters into my own hands and draw some attention to it and maybe, explain a little bit to it. I totally get why people are pissed at NFTs and why it got this, negative kind of reaction. I think these ones are kind of misunderstood NFTs, but there must be a couple of people that are Kevin Smith fans and, figure out all this tricky software.
That was actually the thing that kind of blew my mind was the specificity of your video, because as a Killroy owner at that point, and I had viewed it in the web browser, I had even figured out how to download it very rudimentarily. Like, it was a very difficult process for me. But then I saw your video and I go, are you kidding me? I can actually just view values on what I own already? This is the stuff that I felt was kind of missing from the entire overview, where a lot of people can run terminal commands, but getting there is a little bit difficult. There needs to be a guide of any sort. And even in the process of me trying to purchase the NFT in the first place, I found a guide that I can't even find anymore. I still can't find a good guide other than your video, which explains, top to bottom. And so I went through hoops that now looking back, I'm like, I set up like 5 accounts to get a Secret Network coin, to buy an NFT, to see a movie, to learn that I could download it, and that's where I think the value was extreme. I was thinking, oh, I'll learn how to get to my NFT and I'll be done. But I learned, a lot about NFTs and was very curious about like the viewpoints on them that you had, especially with the introduction of using something along the lines of Quentin Tarantino's concepts about NFTs.
And we're going to do it as an auction. And it's going to be a secret NFT, which means that when you get it, it's yours. You can decide to do with it what you want. It's like, not to compare myself, but it's as if you bought an original Keats poem. Or if you bought a Matisse or something like that. You have it, it's yours. If you don't want to show it or share it with anybody, you just want to hold it for yourself, you can. If you want to show it to your friends and your loved ones, hey, look at this cool thing I have. I've got the Royale with She Scene from Pulp Fiction, all in Quentin's own handwriting. You can show it. If you want to show it to the world, you can. It's available to you. So anyway.
But that's kind of the whole idea of ownership in and of itself, and that's where it applies to NFTs. But the digital idea of them had really thrown a wrench in what that knowledge gap would be. So people like me, I'm waiting for a Blu-ray. I want to see the special features. And to Google Killroy Was Here is interesting because you get mostly NFT news. That's where I was really excited to see what you had done with the, like, playing with the concept of what is an NFT, and if I own it, what does that mean I get to do with it? And I was really fascinated more by that point of your video, and it's a big reason that I want people to take the time to go over and watch it. And if you don't watch it, listen to it, because, I mean, there's a lot to glean off of it. That's where the whole title card that everybody just saw a moment ago, Socrates1024 Was Here, was your idea of you own this, but you're letting people see what you own, right?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, this is just the, and you mentioned being interested in, NFTs kind of, more broadly now too. There's this notion code is law with smart contracts. I mean, these are mostly anonymous systems. You can use them anonymously. So you can do anything with an NFT that the code of that NFT allows you to do. You can leak the private key to your wallet if you want. You can, do with whatever, you can choose to share the private metadata that you have access to or not, leak it online. There isn't really anything, anyone can do about it once you hold that NFT. What's fun about smart contracts, which NFTs are made on, and I think the sense of, there's a lot of potential to this. We haven't even explored all the different kinds of arrangements you can make in terms of royalties and secondary auctions and all sorts of other kinds of, extra things. These are kind of programmable, and they can do, whatever their code is set up to do. But that limit is always still there. You can't force any of the 1,000 owners of this NFT from, revealing the data there. So what I did with my video, years gone by, no one is even talking about this or has apparently, even leaked it in any way. So I showed the private metadata in my video. I just loaded it up in Stash. So I've kind of, I bought one of the Killroy NFTs and I've set that one free. I've liberated it. So at least all of the people complaining on the Reddit about this, that it's just a money grab for releasing it this way. Well, that's sort of not the case, because you've actually made it where any one of the people who has it, can leak the full movie URL. And then I did this in two ways. So there's your wallet private key. That's like you own the NFT. That's what you have the private key that lets you transfer the NFT to someone else. But they also have this feature called a viewing key, which is like a read-only account password. And by default, you set that viewing key to something random, and you can give that viewing key to another application, another device of yours, or just give it to a friend, and then they can also see the private data. So on my video, I displayed my viewing key as well. By default, it's some random string, but you can, if you're the owner of the NFT, you can set the viewing key to whatever you want it to be. So I liberated my NFT. If you want to go look at its private metadata, you don't even have to remember a random password. It's just Socrates1024 Was Here, and you have to find my token ID and my address. But yeah, that's how that worked.
That was a very fascinating part of your video to me, which is this concept of, when something is secret or private and those words are associated with it, it immediately gives it this sense of, I better blur my screen. But going through your video, watching it as you're saying, this is my wallet, meaning currency that I have spent. This is the product I have purchased, which I own. And now I'm showing you, I'm opening the DVD case. I'm showing you the promo code. Anybody want that? That idea, even though it's not dead on applicable, that concept of, hey, this is what I bought and what I own, and here's everything inside of it. You can see that because I'm saying you can see that. And the viewing key is a very interesting concept that I've been trying to play with on my NFTs. And it's a very cool way to programmatically or something in a script, which is how I'm very subtly transferring to what I wrote, it's a way to apply a simple little string and then return Killroy information or secret token information, but in this case, Killroy information. So if somebody looks at your YouTube video and realizes the commands you're typing in, they can type in, the same commands for their NFTs and their wallet address and create, the same result that you've achieved. And I wanted to kind of simplify that because I was getting tired of it. And I actually do coding daily. So I work in JavaScript a lot, and I thought, forget it, we're doing this. And I downloaded my own movie, even though I had done it before, and I found a way to make it not only a lot faster, but a lot easier, a way to separate the information saying, yes, this says full movie key, but what it means is unzip password is what it means, That's not plain English. To expand upon it, I hope they pull down the repo. I hope they write it in Python or something else and they make it entirely better. But the goal and opportunity for this script was the idea that if you own an NFT, if you have the secret wallet address, and if you have the viewing key as well as the token ID number, then you can download the movie. That is an accessible thing that has been around since its inception and somehow not been documented. So let's not only document that, but let's make it very easy to use.
Yeah, and the mystery's still out there. I think I didn't realize this so clearly until your video, but the real elusive, hard to find, rare stuff here are those 45 or I guess 15 plus palette swaps of those hidden scene films. So I've seen a couple of them. You've seen a couple of them. I don't think anyone's got the full collection of those. So maybe your viewers help us figure out how that whole scene goes.
That is the absolutely perfect transition because that's it. This is technically the end. This is a call to action because without a community effort, I am not going to afford a bunch of Pokemon card packs just to hope for the holo card. I can't do it. I don't have the finances. Please, if you are out there, assist us in obtaining the entire story. And to be honest, I've seen Killroy Was Here, and I've made it clear in my video. I don't think it's very good. I think it's a very boring film, and for being so short, it sure drags its way through. However, everything I've seen from this other story actually looks like the best story in the movie, so I'd like to see it.